Got my Otis Gibbs approved coffee here, and just wanted to talk about Partscasters, and that goes for T style and S style guitars, so both of them. So where did this start? I've always been tinkering with guitars, pulling them apart, changing parts. I think anybody who gets into this stuff deep enough is going down that black hole of tone, trying to chase that holy grail sound of tone. So the story of where sort of this guitar originated was I was leaving the house for work one day. It was in the wintertime. It had to be about 7:30 in the morning. Walking down the street, and I look over and I see the shadow of a Strat body sticking out of a snowbank in a pile of garbage. And I sort of did a double take, and I decided to go investigate. And I pulled it out, and it turns out that it was the body and the neck of a classic Vibes Squire Stratocaster somebody had abandoned. The body was all painted, sort of fucked up, and it was sanded all over the place, and someone was hanging on a wall as a decoration of some kind. It's just say no to drugs. So I immediately went, grabbed it, threw it back in the house, went to work, came back, and set to modifying this thing. And sort of, I thought, Stratocasters are one of those kind of guitars where ultimately it's just an assembly of parts, right? Sure, different woods sound different, different pickups sound different, all this kind of stuff. But could you make a guitar that you found in a pile of garbage sound as good as, a vintage guitar? So I set to work. I had enough spare parts that I could pull this thing together. I called it the Garbage Caster. And it was actually quite good, surprisingly. So I started gigging it. And as I started gigging it, its shortcomings started making an appearance. It had tuning stability issues. The neck was not ideal. So I set to trying to find a neck for this thing. So I kept the original body, and I think I had like an HS2 in the bridge and some vintage reissue Strat pickups in the neck in the middle position. So I set to getting a neck, and this is the neck that I found. I found it at Cask Music here in town. So it was a Warmoth, round back, roasted maple, vintage sort of style neck. It does have 22 frets. It has a skunk stripe, but it had a great feel and it looked fantastic. And I thought, okay, it's got jumbo frets, and it has the I can't remember the name off the top of my head of this nut that's supposed to account for the tuning stability issue, not tuning stability, but intonation issues. So I thought, sure. So I popped it on, and immediately improvement in sound, improvement in playability, and was still a good working playing guitar. Fast forward, I made the video about the Epiphone SG, the plywood guitar that I found sounded amazing and played amazing. What can you do with just sort of a cheap guitar and some parts? And you can get to a certain point where things are sounding really good. However, opportunities arise for different guitars, and that has sort of happened to me in the last little bit. So there's some guitars I found that are sort of too good to pass up. So I'll show those a little later. But that meant I need to move some stuff out. So one of the first things to go, I thought I'll take this Garbage Caster, and instead of the chewed up body, I'll put a nice new Fender replacement body on it, alder, black, and you really got the David Gilmour sort of 50s Strat vibe going here with the black pickguard and the white pickup covers. It's set up with floating trem, stays in tune fantastic, sounds really, really great. And again, you can get anything from those like Hendrixy sounds to, you know, that Eric Johnson sort of overdriven. So also of note, I had some Fralin Real 54 pickups that I put in here, so that's adding sort of to the sound. So once I put this guitar together with the Fralins, with the new body, with this great Warmoth neck, I started actually, as I was fearing, really, really liking it. It plays great. It sounds great. It's a bit heavy, but again, it plays and sounds amazing. So this is the debacle that you sort of get into with these guitars. I know I need to move it on down the road, but you know, I ended up sort of like enjoying playing it. It sounds great. However, I have come to the conclusion that I do sort of need to send it on its way to a new home. So this one will be going up on the chopping block. But it is a fantastic guitar. Plays great, feels great, and again, Partscaster. I'm not the one who put that decal on there, but that was someone else's work. Again, plays great, sounds great, stays in tune. Again, the CTS pots and Carling switch, three-way switch, of course, as God intended for Stratocasters. So that's number one. Gotta go. Love it. Partscaster. So that's just the way it goes. Next up on the chopping block, we'll do a hot swap a la Tom Bukovac, our favorite Uncle Larry. Is this lovely guitar. Okay, so this started out life as a 97 or 2007. I can't remember from the serial number, but this is from the Fender California series guitars that they put out long time ago. So essentially they were made in the USA and sort of vintage spec-ish. So you got like a C-shaped neck, but you got 9.5 inch radius board, medium jumbo frets, and vintage appointments. So what ended up happening with this, I've had this guitar for, gotta be over 20 years, 25 years probably. So essentially what had happened is I had some problems with the original body on it. The bodies on these originally were marketed as Swamp Ash. And they had it looked like they were a three-piece. What it actually was, the one that I had anyways was a 5-piece Swamp Ash ply body. So again, 5 pieces going this way with a 3-piece veneer over top, and it ended up cracking. So I replaced the body on this, same color, candy apple red. Got a nice Fender tortoiseshell pickguard on there. Pickup Wizard Telecaster pickups, and again, same thing, CTS pots, Carling switch, vintage style bridge, and these are the Wilkinson compensated saddles. And sort of the same thing happened. I sort of was preparing this guitar to move it on down the road. Same thing, you know, once you sort of put some love into something and start playing it and get it sort of into playing shape, you sort of fall for it again. And that's exactly what has happened with this one. It is the telliest sounding telly that ever tellied. So in terms of being a Partscaster, it has the original neck, it has a replacement body. and it has upgraded parts. So I guess this would go into sort of that category. But again, you can't keep everything as much as I would love to. That'd be great. But space is an issue, and also moving stuff on down the road to make way for new instruments is important as well. So we can get into that a little bit later. But again, what are your thoughts? What's your experience? What is defined as a partscaster? Again, a lot of people are talking about nacho casters these days. What's that guy's? John Cordy on YouTube. There's a lot of discussion there. And I've played a lot of those guitars as well from different manufacturers, or I should say builders. One builder in particular, Alistair Miller from Toronto, he's taking care of my 60s reissue Strat right now for a refret and a nut. He builds barn casters, and they are extremely faithful. I don't want to say replicas, but he's got that Blackguard Telly thing down to a science, and those guitars play and sound amazing. So is it a partscaster when somebody's hand building everything, and it's closer to the original than you can pull off the wall anywhere, short of Fender Custom Shop? Where does that line exist between a real sort of Fender and a partscaster? I think that's all I got to say today. Again, it's been a long time since I put anything up, but I thought this would be a good opportunity just to show you a couple of guitars that I put some love into recently. I got to send them on down the road. They're great, but again, I got to make room for new stuff. So let me know how you feel about that in the comments. And do you guys have any partscasters that you particularly enjoy? Or is it sort of, you're always chasing for something else? So, all right. Thanks very much. Talk to you soon. Bye.